This is LP Giobbi.
Listen up, children.
You are listening to Femme House Radio.
I said listen up, children.
On Diplo's Revolution, Sirius XM.
A wonderful night is made as much by the dancers as the music. Guided as much by the spirit of joy in the room as by the hand which reaches for the next record. Each of us has a role in tonight's experience. We all play in the band.
This is LP Giobbi, and I founded Femme House, a 501c3 foundation and educational platform that teaches the technical areas of music making for women, non-binary, trans, and other marginalized gender identities. Every week, I will be interviewing and spotlighting women in music while bringing you the best dance tunes from around the world.
Our next guest on Femme House Radio is Siedah Garrett, and what an honor it is!
Woohoo!
This woman is a Grammy-winning and two-time Oscar-nominated 80s icon. She co-wrote Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror. She has provided backing vocals for Madonna, who she also toured with, Donna Summer, Barbra Streisand, and Natalie Cole, just to name a few. She was signed and mentored by the legendary Quincy Jones, and she recently released her classic Do You Want It Right Now with a remix package including Blueprint, Dr. Packer, and Eden Prince. I have been so excited and slightly nervous, to be honest, to get to talk to a real-life legend. Thank you for being with us, Siedah.
Thanks for having me.
It is an honor. So tell us, what is your origin story? How did you get into singing and songwriting? How did Quincy Jones discover you?
Oh, I'll give you the Reader's Digest version. And for you millennials, that's the short version. I answered an ad in the Music Connection newspaper, and Quincy was doing a cattle call for singers and groups of singers, and he really wanted a new Manhattan Transfer or a new Fifth Dimension, like a group of singers who sang together, but they didn't necessarily have to be a group. Like, he put a group together from these auditions. And
Got it.
When I was told about these auditions, I was told by the boyfriend of my best friend. She didn't tell me about the auditions, but he did. I asked him, he said, you need to go. Quincy Jones is doing these auditions and you need to go. It's going to be in Hollywood. I said, where? He gave me the address. I said, what time? He said, I don't know. So since he didn't know what time, I showed up at 7 a.m. And at that time, it was me and two other people. The actual event didn't start till noon, but by that time, the line was around the block on Santa Monica Boulevard in Hollywood. It was around the block. And Quincy told me much later that over 800 people auditioned over those 10 days, 5 work days. They had a clipboard at 5 tables with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 10 a.m., 10:15, 10:20. You know, you signed in your time and when you would like to audition. Well, I decided I was ready to audition that day. I didn't know we'd have time to think about it and come back. And so I said, I won't be any more ready next Tuesday or 2 days from now. Let me just do my audition now. And Quincy told me much later, I ended up kind of setting the bar. You either had to be better than me or as good as me to continue the audition process. The audition process was 9 months long. Every couple of months, I'd get these letters. Congratulations, you're one of 500 for the Quincy Jones, blah, blah. And then 250, 100, 50, 25, 15, 10, 4. Me
Oh my God.
and 3 guys. We became this group called Deco, which did the soundtrack for Sidney Poitier's directorial debut, a film called Fast Forward. And in that soundtrack, Jelly Bean Benitez, bless his heart, recorded a song called Do You Want It Right Now? And that song played in this film, Fast Forward, in the guitar solo. So I'm not even singing in the movie. But the song is playing in the movie. So it went on to become a #1 dance record, and I'm still reaping the benefits of having made that record since Eden Prince, Blueprint, Dr. Packer, John Peck, all these people have decided that that song is good enough to listen to in a different way. And I'm
I
so
love that.
happy. It lives. Music lives.
I have a story for you. So I recently got to do Femme House, which is the nonprofit that I run that teaches women how to produce music. We
Nice.
had a thank you. We had we did a shoot with Insomniac, and we shot it in a proper club in LA. No audience, but full camera crew and club and everything. And I played "Do You Want It Right Now," the Blueprint remix. And it was the first time I had heard music in proper club speakers in a year.
Wow.
And I threw my headphones off. I ran into the middle of the venue with nobody else around, and I listened to your voice as it should be heard in massive speakers. And I thought, this song is remarkable.
Wow, thank you.
It was such a cool moment. I am such a big fan.
Thank you.
And I'm just curious, how did the remix package come to be? Are you a fan of dance music? How, who had that brilliant idea? How did that all come to be?
I've always been a fan of dance music because dance fans are one of the most loyal fans, and dance music lives forever. And like I said, I recorded this song more than 30 years ago. And Tinted Records contacted my husband, and talked to us about these DJs who were interested in doing remixes. So they're all amazing. I just love that they took the time and energy to reimagine a song that meant so much to me.
So where are you right now?
I'm sitting in my living room in Los
Is
Angeles.
that? Los Angeles.
Yes.
Okay. And how's the pandemic been for you? Emotionally, physically, all of it?
Well, I compared to some, I've been doing exceedingly well. I've used this time to explore other creative endeavors, and I'm working on the Broadway musical For the Pursuit of Happiness, and I'm working on a couple of Christmas musicals. So I'm busying myself with other creative endeavors while I wait to be able to perform live again. I'm doing a lot of Zoom concerts. But the thing that hurts me the most, I think, is that I miss restaurants.
You miss, wait, that's what you miss the most?
And hugging people. I didn't realize I didn't enjoy human touch. I mean, I really miss that. I mean, I love up on my husband, but he's the only person I've hugged really for a year.
Isn't that
That's
wild?
insane. That's insane. So
It's truly
comparatively,
insane.
I'm doing pretty well. And also, I almost forgot. I wrote the end title, the closing, a song for the last season, the last episode of the show, Dear White People.
No.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
So did you know that you were, when you were making that, did you know it was for the show, or was it like a song that you had and they thought, oh, we want to use that for the show?
No, I think I wrote it for the show because I wrote it with the composer, Chris Bowers. Who's on fire right now. He's like awesome. He's nominated for everything right now.
That is so rad. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
So I'm obsessed with Christmas. So when you said that you were working on what exactly are you working on that has to do with Christmas?
A Christmas musical. A couple of years ago, I was invited by the Austrian government to participate with an amazing composer named John Debney. And we went to Austria to write a Christmas musical to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the writing of the song Silent Night. It was written by two Austrians, so they wanted to celebrate that milestone. I mean, it's the most recorded song in the most languages in the world, something crazy like that. So the 200th anniversary of that song, we were invited to Austria to make a musical. Now, this is how different the Austrians are compared to the way we do things in the U.S. In the U.S., you make the musical and then you wait for a place to put it on, right? But in Austria, they had the place and the date and the time, and so we're asking you X amount of months in advance, have it ready by this date at this time. So we did, and it was a really quick turnaround, and we wrote something called My Silent Night. And I wrote it in English, and the songs I wrote in English, and then they translated it into German. It's crazy.
Wait, this is amazing. Is there going to be a way that we can watch it here, or we can go see it and experience it in the U.S.?
We're pitching that right now because we
Well,
thought it was
I think
amazing.
that somebody should.
Yeah, we're doing that. We're doing that now. John Debney is in the process of making it, remaking it so for an Americanized audience because
Well,
it
it
was
seems
very,
like if
very
anybody-
Austrian at the time.
Right. It seems like if anybody can get that done, it's certainly you. So
I'm working on it, sister.
I look forward to seeing that.
Okay, cool.
So I am a jazz musician, but I went to school to study jazz piano performance.
Ah.
And when I read in your bio that you have worked with Miles Davis, is that right?
Yeah. I got a great Miles Davis story. Can I say? I can say a bad word?
Yeah, you can say a bad word.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, check this out. When I was working on Back on the Block with Quincy Jones, Miles Davis was one of the artists that performed. And I wrote a lot of songs on that album. And so whenever Quincy was recording a song that I co-wrote on or I sang on, he would invite me down to the studio. And I came almost daily. Well, one day he didn't say, come back tomorrow. So I didn't. The day after, Quincy called me and said, where were you yesterday? I said, you didn't invite me to come to the studio, so I didn't show up. He said, Miles was here yesterday, and he was playing on your song. And he said, and then he was playing, and then he stopped. And he said, who that's singing? And Quincy said, oh, that's Siedah. He said, that's Siedah. Damn, I love that bitch. So, that is my Miles Davis story. And no one but Miles Davis can refer to me in that manner. So, I'm really...
Wait, that is truly the best story I think I have ever heard, ever. I mean,
only Miles Davis can call me a bitch. Just know that. Know that.
I love that. I love imagining like somebody, going way out of the way and saying all the wrong things, and you saying, listen, only Miles Davis can call me that. Is like the best response to that ever.
Yeah. And he's dead, so, yeah, that was a great Miles Davis story. That record I recorded with a lot of jazz legends. I mean, Ella Fitzgerald, Dizzy Gillespie. You don't know Back on the Block? Girl, what is wrong with you? Dizzy Gillespie, Miles Davis, Al Jarreau,
Siedah Garrett just said,
Sarah
what is wrong
Vaughan.
with you? And I'm
Sarah
questioning
Vaughan.
everything. What?
Sarah Vaughan. Did I say Ella? Yeah, Ella Fitzgerald.
Yeah, Ella is one that I'm freaking out about that right now.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
Your career is insane. Okay, so I read that you and your manager is your husband, right?
My husband's yes.
Okay, so I am actually obsessed with the idea of creative couples. I remember my only real job before I pursued my life as an artist. I was sitting in an office, working 9 to 5. And I remember thinking, this is insane that my best hours are going to a company, and then I get home and I'm tired and I'm exhausted and I'm like not really very present with my partner, Yeah. And I remember being obsessed with the idea of like the people that get to work together, they get to have their best, most creative hours together. Like, what is that like?
Well, our creative hours differ greatly. His day starts at about 5 in the morning, and he goes to bed not long after his dinner. And my day doesn't really kick in until like brunch. So I go from brunch to 4 or 5 a.m. So we interact in the best, like midday through dinner or whatever. That's our most interaction. He does a lot of the stuff that I would cringe and hate doing, all the emails and all the contracts back and forth and all the, just thinking about it, I'm starting to itch. I can't. So
Well,
he
that's why
does
you're
all
an
that.
artist.
There you go. And I do my part. So our partnership has really been amazing from the onset, because I waited a long time to get married, girlfriend. Let me tell you.
You did?
I had no desire to be a married person at all, because I hadn't met anyone that I could like stand for that long, And when I met him, we were friends long before he became my manager. Yeah. I mean, husband, I should say.
And how, so wait, was he your husband first or your manager first?
He was my manager first. He was vice president of A&R at RCA Records and Arista. At one point, he was just under Clive Davis. Yeah, he's pretty awesome. So he understands my work. He understands what I do, and he also understands an area of my artistry that I don't want to even consider, because that takes me out of my creative zone when I have to do contracts and rewrite speeches, or it just takes me from it. And he is the perfect bridge between that part of what I have to do as an artist and the creative part.
Oh, that is so was there like an adjustment period in learning how to work together, and communicate effectively? Because I find that sometimes, like if I'm talking to like my manager, I sort of can put on a little bit more of like, I have a filter, and when I'm talking to my partner, I sometimes just like, if I don't like something, boom, I'm like, let them know.
It's a delicate dance. It's a delicate dance. And I tippy-toe on that line often. You just have to learn to be considerate. And I have a husband who is emotionally mature, which I hadn't dated anyone who was like that in a long time. So I find that him being understanding and with his emotional maturity, he bringing that to our relationship really has helped me trust him more and allow him to do what he needs to do to help my management career and that obviously helps him as well. Like the more he does to make us better, he makes himself better as well.
Well, that sounds like a beautiful those are relationship goals right here.
Yes.
Brought to you by Siedah Garrett.
Do you need one of those in your life? I think everybody needs one of those in their life.
Yes, totally. Okay, tell me about the track "The New Frontier."
The New Frontier was written out of frustration, and the sad part is I keep adding new names to this list of murdered African Americans in this country by peace officers that got the job to protect and serve, and they're murderous now. Like, for the first time in my life, I'm like, I fear the police. I mean, Trayvon Martin was the first, then Freddie Gray, and the list, as you know, goes on and on and on. And I wrote this song not in retaliation, but yeah, like a protest. It's a protest song, and I didn't realize how poignant it was going to be when I wrote it, because when I wrote it, there were only 2 names on the list, and the lyrics just kept going on and on and on. It's a sad state of affairs, but change is painful, and we're in a lot of pain right now. So I'm sure that change is forthcoming.
The coolest thing I've seen out of this movement that's happening right now in, specifically in America, is my parents, who are 2 white folks. They are 67 years old. They live in Oregon, and they are calling me going, what the hell,
LP? What the hell?
they're calling me going, you know what? We just had a dinner party with 5 of our other friends, and we are realizing that it isn't enough to be, I'm not racist. You have to be an anti-racist. You have to use your power and privilege to actually, the onus is on us. Finally, people are finally realizing that.
Yes. Oh my God, I love that you said that. That is so true.
And it really pumps me up, yeah.
Because I'm not here to educate you, for real. You know what I mean? It's not my job. So do your work, as Iyanla Vanzant would say. Do your damn work, yes. Yeah,
I'm going to snap all day long. That is and that is the coolest thing that I'm seeing, is all the white people going, wait, we need to do the reading. We need to watch all the documentaries. We need to understand what we can do with our power. We need to, and we do not need to call you and you explain racism to us. That is a waste of your time. That is not what you should be doing. And it's just like, that to me is the most exciting part, and I really hope that real change comes from that.
It's already in effect. It's already in effect. But change is like steering a ship. Ain't no sharp turns when you're steering a ship, so it's easy going. As long as we see this moving in the right direction, I think we're headed we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right in the end.
What are the biggest changes you have seen in the industry since you got into this business?
Record companies becoming fewer and fewer and fewer until I think there are like 4 conglomerates now. There used to be hundreds of record companies, hundreds of major, and I should say thousands of little indie record companies all over the world. And the sad part is that part of the business is unfortunately a dinosaur at this moment. But the good part is artists have never been more in control of their own careers. Not in my lifetime, ever. And with that, you don't have a big company behind you, but you also don't have to give up so much of your, your touring rights and your publishing, and because you're doing it yourself, and the money you make, it might not be as much as a big deal with a record label, but you start paying yourself back immediately instead of paying back the record company for the touring budget and the video that you did and the recording budget and all that stuff you have to pay back to the record company as an artist. And they're not necessarily trying to find the best studio for to help you in your budget, to keep your budget low. They're just like, you make the record, whatever studio you will, you pick the producer or we'll pick the producer. And just the whole social media thing, you can be who you want to be and you will find your audience. Yeah. So before, the A&R guys would have to go out and find talent to sign. Now they have to do is turn on YouTube.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That is very true. So I have a question. Have you ever been in the studio with a female producer in your career?
Oh yeah, lots.
Oh really?
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
What is there any highlight come to mind?
Sheila, what's it in the studio with Sheila and... Wait, let me think. That was recording. She wasn't producing. That is interesting. I cannot think of a female producer. That's sad.
It's truly the reason that I exist is because I saw...
Wow.
Wait, there aren't very... Isn't that wild? So in the Grammys right now, 2% of producers are women. And that is what...
Oh my God.
That is... Isn't that a trip?
That's
I know.
Shameful,
I know.
Actually.
But things are changing, and we are working to change that and get, women comfortable being behind the gear. And also, here's the other thing is, my guess is, this is maybe me stepping out of bounds here, but I bet you that you are a producer.
I'm a vocal producer.
I have no doubt
yes. I produce vocals.
I'm sure you are.
I don't create.
And my guess is you also...
Go ahead.
My guess is you also say, I want to hear this here and I want this here and change this to be.
You're right.
And in that way, you are producing.
And my husband would agree with you. You're absolutely right. You're right. But I wouldn't.
And my issue is that women aren't getting credit for that. That's not right.
Yeah, that's been status quo though, unfortunately. God, yeah, you're right. I've done a lot of vocal production and I've done a lot of on my demos. I produce my demos and arrange the vocals and arrange sometimes the music as well. So yeah, I think I can add that to my list of credits, right under effervescent.
I think you. You are like, you're a legend, and then you meet legends and you're like, I hope that they are that awesome, and you actually are even more awesome than you are on paper, which is that is saying a lot.
Making me sound freaking ancient up in here.
It's crazy.
Legends are reserved for old people.
I have a final question for you. And that would be, what advice would you give to younger artists who want to pursue a career out of their art?
Out of their art. Okay, no matter what that art is, a true artist cannot not make art. So I think all you have to really do, what you have to learn is perseverance. And I'm the kind of person where I would do the art that I do with music and sculpting and painting, and it's all about being able to express yourself, and in doing so, being patient with the world not catching up with you yet. They're going to catch up with you. So all you have to do is be you, and then the world will catch up with who you are. And then it's all about building relationships, because you never know who or where someone is going to be in your or their lives, where you could help each other, or they could help you, or you could help them do something that they're passionate about. For me, it's about giving back in that way, even if it's by example. I am just trying to live my best life, girlfriend, because tomorrow is not promised. I have lost so many dear people. And let me give you a quick story about my sister. My sister's a collector of things, and since she was a kid, a teenager, she would collect baby things, and she would collect household items, and she would collect, and then she moved into her house, and she had a baby, and she still was collecting those same things. Like, she didn't use the baby things she collected on her baby. She just kept, and after a point said, bitch, you're 50, and at best, it's half over, okay? So why are you saving your stuff to you? You know, I will die in the red. I'm using all my shit. I'm not going with any extra nothing, okay? Know that. I'm using it all. I'm using my good dishes.
Yes.
I'm wearing my good shoes. Because here's a story. This is what put me in that mindset. There was a woman. Eric and I were in New York, and we were getting ready to fly back to LA. And we turned on the news, and while we were packing, listening to the news, there was a local story about a woman. They had just had their first snowstorm of the season, and a woman was trying to start her car one morning, so she wanted to warm her car up. So she went out in her slippers or her pajamas to start her car. She slipped on the snow and ice. I don't know if she was fat. I don't know if she just fell. I don't know what happened. She could not get up. She died on her front lawn. She was saving them good shoes for church. She was saving that good hat. She was saving them good dishes for, I don't know, Christmas, Thanksgiving, whatever. She was saving all that. And what? For what? Baby, use it.
You know what
use it all. I'm telling you.
This is a very, very tiny example of this, but I used to be obsessed with, I collected stickers when I was a child. I collected every kind of sticker. I was obsessed. I had this huge box, but I wouldn't let anybody touch them or play with them, and I wouldn't use them. I just collected and collected and collected. And then guess what? I outgrew stickers. I stopped caring. And so I recently was cleaning out my parents' room, and I had to throw away all these stickers that I was so obsessed with and coveted and didn't use and that's exactly what you're saying. I remember that was a big learning moment for me. I'm like, use the stuff. Use it while you like it.
I'm going to have Eric send you something, because I'm obsessed with stickers as well. But I use my shit, LP. Let me just tell you that. I would go to NAMM, and I know most artists go to NAMM and musicians go to NAMM to see the new equipment and see what's the new thing, to buy and have. But I would go to collect stickers. So.
You're kidding me.
I bought this luggage, and I used the stickers from NAMM.
That is amazing. Are you kidding?
I had a lot of time. I had a lot of time on my hands. And those are all instrument companies, drum companies, Moog, mic companies. Yeah.
That is actually the most amazing thing. Please, yes, please.
Because it's kind of blurry.
I have to tell you that your confidence is contagious.
Oh, good.
It's just, and I think going back to persevering, it's you have to believe, you have to know that you are great at what you do and believe that people will catch up, and you have such amazing confidence. I just want to, how do you
have to be you, because that's the only thing that's not taken. You know what I mean? You have to be you. Because that's, and try to be the best version of yourself. That's what I live to try to impress my husband every day. I just want to drive home the fact that I'm the best thing that has ever happened to him. So in order to do that, I have to bring my best self to this relationship.
You have to show up for yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that is so beautiful. It's crazy because your career is inspiring, but you're actually an inspiring human.
Aww.
that is how do you live a great life whether you're an artist or not, you know? And those are words to live by.
Agreed.
Thank you so much for being with us on Femme House
Thanks
Radio.
for having me on Femme House Radio, damn it.
Oh, God. You are amazing. I can't even. You're amazing. You really are blowing my mind. Honestly, thank you for your time. My stomach has been in knots all week about this because I'm like, what am I possibly going to ask you that you've seen it all. You've literally accomplished everything.
No, not everything. I still have to win an Oscar. Not everything. And I might even have to win a Tony before it's over. I might have to do that. I want to be a GOAT. Grammy, Oscar, Tony, Emmy. I want it all. I love it.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for your time. It is an honor. I would love to stay in touch with you. You are just...
Feel free.
You're very special.
Can I ask one thing of you? When you die, can I have your eyelashes?
I literally thought right there, truly, what is she going to ask me right now? Because the answer is yes. I will do anything for you. I'll give you anything. But no problem. They're yours. I'll just send them now. They're yours now.
This is LP Giobbi.
Listen up, children.
You are listening to Femme House Radio.
I said listen up, children.
On Diplo's Revolution, Sirius XM.
A wonderful night is made as much by the dancers as the music guided as much by the spirit of joy in the room as by the hand which reaches for the next record. Each of us has a role in tonight's experience. We all play in the band.
This is LP Giobbi, and I founded Femme House, a 501c3 foundation and educational platform that teaches the technical areas of music making for women, non-binary, trans, and other marginalized gender identities. Every week, I will be interviewing and spotlighting women in music while bringing you the best dance tunes from around the world.